Most Micro-SaaS products do not fail at idea or build stage. They fail after launch. When early interest is there, maybe a few customers too, but the systems behind the product aren't strong enough to support growth. According to OpenView SaaS benchmarks, nearly 72% of SaaS startups do not cross $1 million ARR mark. And from my experience working with over 100 SaaS founders, I can tell you it is rarely because of poor product ideas. It is because they didn't know how to scale beyond version 1. In this video, I'll break down the architecture, hosting decisions, growth infrastructure, and operational shapes required to scale your micro-SaaS after launch. If you're serious about building a sustainable SaaS business, I would recommend subscribing to this channel. I share these insights weekly based on real projects, not theory, and the goal is simple: help you scale smarter, faster, and with fewer mistakes. Before we jump into infrastructure and metrics, I want to align on one thing. Scaling is not just growth. You can grow and still be inefficient, chaotic, and eventually unscalable. Scaling is about systems, your ability to repeatedly and reliably serve more customers, deliver more value, and maintain performance without growing cost linearly. And that means we need to rethink how we approach product infrastructure and operations post-launch. Many founders believe once they have launched and onboarded users, PMF is done. But the real PMF is not about signups. It's about consistent value delivery. So look at your product metrics. Activation rate. Is it at least 40% of the users completing the code actions within 7 days? Retention. Are 30 to 30% of the users still active after 3 months? DAU or WAU ratio. Is usage sticky? A good benchmark is over 20% for engaged SaaS. If your numbers are well below this, you are not ready to scale. Invest time in feedback loops. Use full story or Microsoft Clarity to see where users drop off. Use Hotjar to capture friction. Talk to users directly. If you scale too early with weak PMF, you were just speeding up churn. Most micro-SaaS products start as a monolith, and that's okay. If you want to scale, you will need to move towards modularity. So here is what I recommend. First, modular code base. Separate core modules like auth, billing, notifications, integrations into distinct services or domains. This allows individual scaling and testing. And then have an API first design. Your front end and back end should communicate through documented APIs, ideally REST or GraphQL. This also sets you up for the future integrations. And then have background workers. Offload processing heavy tasks, reports, email sending, media conversions using queue systems like Laravel Horizon, Sidekick, or BullMQ. Now, database planning. Do not wait for the bottlenecks. Use read replicas, cache layers using Redis, or connection pooling early. If you're serious about performance and uptime, start adding observability like Sentry for error tracking, New Relic for APM, CloudWatch for logs if you are on AWS. High uptime isn't an accident, it is engineered. Your infrastructure choice directly affects cost, reliability, and feature complexity. Here is the decision map based on real SaaS growth stages. Like stage number 1, MVP or solo developers, you can use Render, Fly.io, or DigitalOcean. These are quick for deploying and simple scaling. Now next is early PMF, like 1000 plus users. You can use Vultr, High Frequency, Heijner, or Cloudflare plus Do combo. Next is scaling, like for 10,000 users, teams, or B2B clients. You can use AWS or GCP with load balancers and auto scaling. Next, for AI or ML use cases, you can use Google Cloud. For Vertex AI, BigQuery integrations. So my go-to stack for scale is still AWS, but with guardrails, like EC2 auto-scaling groups, RDS with read replicas, S3 for file storage, and ELB for distribution. Monitor spend with billing alerts and cost explorers. And no matter what you choose, keep your static assets and database on separate nodes from your application servers. Scaling breaks teams before it breaks systems. And the missing piece is usually DevOps maturity. So here is what you need in place. First, CI/CD pipeline. Automate builds, tests, and deployments using GitHub Actions or GitLab CI. Do not manually FTP code. Every deploy should be repeatable. Next is containerization. Use Docker to ensure parity across environments, development, staging, and production. Next, you should have rollback strategy. Feature flags like launch turkey, blue-green deployments, or version APIs. All of these prevent a single deploy from taking down your system. Next, monitoring plus alerts. Track performance metrics like memory, latency, API errors. Tools like Prometheus plus Grafana or Datadog help you visualize and act on this. See, without operational maturity, every new user increases chaos. Your job is to reduce that chaos through automation, logging, alerting, and recovery plans. Now, if you are not measuring, you are guessing. But tracking too much also leads to noise. So here are the 6 metrics I review with every SaaS founder I mentor. Number 1, MRR ARR growth rate. Next is churn rate. Target less than 5% monthly for B2C and less than 2% for B2B. Third metric is LTV by CAC ratio. Target 3:1 or better. Fourth, activation rate. Fifth, infrastructure cost per user. And sixth, uptime and error rate. Start with mixed panel, bare metrics, or even a Notion dashboard, but have visibility. If a decision isn't tied to a metric, you are operating blind. Now, scaling is not about doing more work. It is about doing the same work with fewer human hours. Here is what you can automate early. First, onboarding. Use app queues or user flow or a custom setup with feature flags and tooltips. Next, lifecycle emails. You can set up ConvertKit or customer.io or even SendGrid with automation flows. Next is churn alerts. Build basic churn risk detection based on inactivity or downgrade patterns. Fourth, billing plus turning. Stripe and Bare Metrics handle retries, receipts, and MRR tracking. And you can use N8N or Zapier to glue systems together. Do not reinvent workflows unless there is strategic value. As you scale, your instinct will be to hire for the task overwhelming you. Instead, hire for leverage, a role that creates systems or remove dependencies. Now, here is a smart early hiring order. First, customer success lead, not support, but someone who ensures users succeed and stay. Second, DevOps or infrastructure engineer, and part-time is fine, to own the performance and reliability. Next, you should have a growth product marketer, not just for traffic, but for improving onboarding, activation, and retention. Next, you should have a technical writer or docs person to reduce support load over time. And you will find that the right hires let you work more on strategy and less on daily firefighting. So guys, scaling your micro-SaaS isn't a checklist. It's an ongoing loop of designing systems that absorb growth without turning every new customer into a new problem. If you have built something valuable, you owe it to yourself and your users to build it in a way that lasts. Guys, if you find this useful, please subscribe to the channel. I share frameworks, breakdowns, and systems thinking from real SaaS projects I have helped scale from idea to acquisition. Drop your current error or scale stage in the comments. I would love to reply with tailored ideas or tools that might help you get to the next level. Thanks for watching. This is Swarnendu, and I'll see you in the next one.